What's going on, guys? Hey, we're back. We've got another compilation of videos that I found, some recent combat footage, whole bunch of cool videos, man, that I think are pretty insightful. So, also, I'm going to be pulling up Deep State map and referencing a couple points that are an understanding of where these strikes and attacks are happening. First of all, there's this video that we're going to watch. This is going ultra viral in Ukraine right now. This is a teenager in Kramatorsk, Ukraine, which is a village that I've lived in. It's a village that a lot of soldiers have lived in. It's out east in Donbass. And this is a teenager riding his bike home, and an FPV drone, an ambush FPV, one of the FPVs that waits on a road for vehicles, pops up and decides to take this kid out. The Russians call this the human safari. Not only do they record these atrocities because they're FPVs, but they even slap on their insignia and then post it like it's some kind of a badge of honor to take out an unarmed teenager. So before we jump into it, guys, we do have a lot of new subscribers. So I want to introduce myself and then we'll jump into it. If you already know me, skip ahead for like 1 minute, okay? Those of you who don't, my name is Saxon. I go by Vegas here in Ukraine. Before I came to Ukraine, I was a firefighter and an EMT in a small town outside Fort Worth, Texas, and for a volunteer fire department called De Cordova FD. Shout out De Cordova. I did that for about three and a half years. The last year, we were required to get our EMT license to be a firefighter. So I got my EMT license, and when I finished my clinicals, got my license, it was the end of 2022. I decided to come to Ukraine in January of 2023 to try to help with some of my medical and first responder skills. I had a lot of training and different skill sets that were based around things I thought they could use in Ukraine. I did not come to fight initially. I came to Ukraine. Nobody really knew what to do with me because I was a foreigner. There wasn't a real foreigner pipeline established yet. People didn't know what to do with foreigners, really. They led me to a group called the International Legion for the Defense of Ukraine, ILDU. I went there. They asked if I wanted to be a combat medic. I asked if that's the best place that I can help right now. They said yes. So I became a combat medic. I trained with them for about 9 weeks, just basic infantry training, and then we deployed to Kupiansk in March 7th of 2023, where I spent about a month and a half out there on the front. Then left Ukraine after that, after we lost some buddies in that unit, and just some situations happened in that unit where it basically got disbanded. I left Ukraine, came back to the U.S., sold my truck, grabbed my cats, came back to Ukraine, and helped start a unit called Azov's International Battalion. With that unit, I not only did we help build it and recruit the majority of the guys there, but I deployed with the first combat group Alpha Company as one of the assault medics on the second assault team, Alpha 2 assault team, and spent about 2.5 months on the front out there with those guys. So that's kind of my story. A medium version of it. That wasn't the shortest version, wasn't the longest version, obviously, but I'm still in Ukraine. I'm away from the Eastern Front. I'm in a small village. I'm not going to share exactly where that's at, but we still get to take strikes every single day. I'm no longer fighting, and I'm primarily trying to build and make content that I think is helpful to the country. So with that said, please like and share this content, man. I do think it is beneficial to helping keep this stuff on people's minds. Like a video like this that is horrendous, you're not going to see this on Fox News or CNN, right? They're not going to show stuff like this. So that's why the channels like these other independent YouTube channels, Callan Robertson, Preston Stewart, Cappy Army, those guys they're such important. What they do is very important. So let's watch this real quick. It's not graphic, so you're aware. No audio. So you can see how he was just sitting there on the side of the road. He popped up. You can tell this kid is from Kramatorsk because he didn't He didn't jump, he didn't turn around, he didn't run away. Basically, what I'm imagining is this has happened to him before living in Kramatorsk, and he's letting the drone check him out, realize he's just a kid, and then the drone would let him go. But this time he's noticing it's a little bit different. Pretty terrible, man. It's heartbreaking. I will say, guys, when we get a closer look at, oh yeah, maybe he is. I was gonna say he looks older to me, but no, actually, this does look like a kid. He's got a hat similar to the hat that I wear, and it's like this woodland camo style with a letter on it. But nothing about this kid says military to me. His bag he's carrying, he does look young. His backpack, terrible, man. So that's that one ultra viral. It's going everywhere right now. Um, really, really sad to watch. No. All right, guys. Sorry about that. So this is just since we're on that same topic, I want to show you another drone strike that Russia committed yesterday in a region called Kri Reeve, and it's it's just a small Ukrainian city. And this drone strikes a shopping mall in the middle of the day on a Saturday, kills 15 people, women and children, older women, babies. So this is the strike that did that. So what do you even say about something like that, man? I mean, these are the ones they're able to catch on camera and actually film, but this stuff happens daily. And killing 15 civilians with a primarily women and children is, or I don't know if it was primarily women and children, but I mean there were women and children in there. It wasn't like a soldier strike. Um, it's despicable, man, and this is happening daily in different regions. Let's take a look at where Cree Reeve is real quick to give you an idea of where This is deep state map, guys. Really cool if you haven't seen it. This is Ukraine. These are the front lines. This is the whole area here, and then it'll show you. If I remember correctly, there it is right there. Cree Re. So it is. Let's see how close is that actually in kilometers. To the front is about 100 kilometers. That sucks. That is pretty close though, because those same kinds of strikes are happening in towns all the way out here, right? I mean, Kiev, for example, is how far? 530 kilometers, right, to one of the closest points on the front. How about right here? Oops. Yeah, 430, and I'm a little off. So that's just to give you an idea, kind of a perspective of where these are taking place. But they do this everywhere, man. And here's Kramatorsk right here. This is where that kid was killed. That was on the bike in the very first clip. So we will let's move on here. We've got a lot to unpack today. It's gonna be a jam-packed video. DevDroid. So I got to meet these guys, the CEO of DevDroid, last. It was earlier this year when I went to this drone um, convention in or forum type deal in Lviv, and just really cool guys. I'm gonna keep the audio off because they've got music behind it. But DevDroid is big into UVGs, unmanned ground vehicles, and they are one of the kind of the pioneers of the UVG as far as the first ones to start doing it and start bringing it to the front and start using them with weapons, start using them in casualty evacuation roles. So this thing's got a mod deuce on it, right? 50 cal, which can systematically saw a building in half with enough ammo, right? But imagine this. You have this thing covering the windows while you have an assault team approaching from one of the flanks. Imagine, I mean, that's just one use case example of a drone like this, man. Just suppressing the enemy, and every time the enemy, peeks, they're like, "That's a freaking machine. It's a robot. We're not going to shoot at it probably," but it's keeping their heads down. Wow, in through the back door, you've got the door kickers, right? Wham, the real pipe hitters, and they're coming in, and before you know it, they're in the room that you're in, hiding from this thing. So this is a big deal, man. There are so many ways to use it. Oh, and look, you can see on this one, it's actually got an FPV cage on it. It's the first time I've seen that on a UVG. We've seen these FPV cages on tanks and other armored vehicles, right? But not on a little drone. It makes sense though because the FPVs definitely take these out too. Pretty cool, man. DevDroid, shout out to them. Check them out. They're a really cool company. Um, it strikes me as DevDroid struck me as like a bunch of gamers who were really smart, and the war kicked off and they're like, all right, let's use our combined IQs and gaming knowledge and intelligence to develop stuff to kill the enemy. All right, drone drops payload. Check this out. Really short clip, but to give you some context, this is a Russian Molnia style drone, which is a fixed wing mid-range attack drone, and underneath it, it has an anti-tank mine. Oftentimes, they'll strap anti-tank mines to them to be the payload. And this perspective we're watching is a Ukrainian interceptor that takes out the Molnia, takes out the drone, but the tank mine doesn't explode. So the tank mine's flipping midair on its way down. Watch. Oh, you know what? So the there's three drones here in this video. There's the one we're watching the perspective of. This is the interceptor right here, the Ukrainian interceptor. This white one down here is the fixed wing Molnia drone carrying the anti-tank mine. Yeah, okay. I didn't catch that in the first video, or the first time I saw that. This is kind of a fun clip. It's a DSHK, which is a massive machine gun that the Ukrainians have in a position, and it's basically tearing down this building. Okay, not gonna do the music, but you can see this guy's up there with like a PKM or something. And as this guy's firing, you can see pieces of the actual apartment building, like the stairs, just falling off. It's all cloudy and dusty, and I mean these DSHKs are so loud, dude. It's like here, hold on, let's watch the beginning again. Yeah, that was the part I was talking about. He fires right here, boom, boom, and there's just chunks of the roof or whatever just falling off the building from the reverb in that staircase. I couldn't imagine how loud it is in there because they're like I said, they're loud just in the wide open or on the back of a truck or something. But in an enclosed space like this, just rifle fire in an enclosed space like this will scramble your egg a bit, man. It can the reverb will right if you're not wearing your active ear pro. Luckily, it looks like this guy hopefully is. Now I can't really tell. That could just be balaclava. Um, but yeah, regular rifle fire could scramble you up. Something like this, dude, I feel like that could genuinely concuss you. All right, this was actually a recent video. These are Ukrainians fighting some drones.
Не стреляє! Патрони! Уходь! Біжи! Там дохуя! За стінку! А!
Right there. So it, excuse me, they end up casualty evacuating this guy right here that gets wounded by this FPV right up here. But I've seen this video a couple times on a couple different channels, and one of them said all of the Ukrainians end up dying. And then one said there was no KIAs, it's just this wounded guy here. But in this longer video, they're dragging him out. So I really don't know. But kind of just goes to show what it's like firsthand fighting FPVs, man. It's awful. All right, here's. Oh yeah, all right, before we do that, this guy's recording the guy on the back of this ATV. In front of them are their buddies on another ATV right here, or some kind of all-terrain vehicle. These are Russians. Sorry, I should have specified. These are Russians. Just watch your homies get smoked. And at first I was like, all right, they're going to pull up and try to Kazi-vac these guys. But no, it seems like they're just pulling away. But who knows? There's no rest of the video. I also had to watch this a couple times to make sure that wasn't yellow, green, or blue tape, but it's not. It's a multicam band for his goggles, most likely. It's no Ukrainian tape. All right, let's watch. We're getting into the 20-minute mark here, so I want to show you guys this. So this is a logistics facility like an Amazon supply would be in the U.S. with those massive Amazon warehouses that you know um, they ship and distribute distribution centers. They distribute Amazon products. That is what this is, but it's in Russia and it's their brand. It's not a wild berries. It's called an Olan or Olav or something. Anyways, it's already been hit. And these, see, that's it right there. Yeah, ozone. That's what it's called, ozone. Completely uncontested. Now we know this has been happening in Russia, but one of the reasons I wanted to point this one out was because of the location. Oops. This was in Samara, which I found earlier, south of Moscow. There it is. No, no, no. Yeah, no. There it is. Right here. So to give you a general idea, Moscow's here. The front is here. They're striking, Ukrainians are successfully striking with with, successfully hitting without being hit, without the anti-air hitting their drones or missiles this far. And I wanted to check how far this is. So let's use the closest point of Ukraine, probably, or currently unoccupied Ukraine. Let's go there to Samara. 900 kilometers, guys. And that wasn't just one off lucky drone. There's multiple drones. As you saw there, it's already been hit multiple times. We saw another one hit. And then there's one more clip I have in here of the Samara hit. Or just a better, I'm sorry, just a better perspective of the actual distribution center. Oh, yeah, and a drone right there. I didn't even see that the first time. So pretty crazy, man. I mean, that's really far into Russia. I want to look at that again because it's interesting to me. Oops. All right, I'm doing weird stuff now. Samara, look at that, makes Moscow seem like it's a football throw away, right? Samara's all the way over here. How far is Moscow from the closest point of unoccupied Ukraine? It would have to be from here to there. 462. So almost double the amount, the distance they're able to successfully hit with that many drones. One reason they're saying a lot of these regions are vulnerable is because they've hemorrhaged the air defense to Moscow and St. Petersburg, but primarily Moscow right here. So they're pulling air defense assets from other regions and hemorrhaging them all, bringing them all into Moscow to help defend Putin and his cronies, basically the capital of Russia. Pretty interesting though, man. I love making these types of videos. I hope you guys find some value in it. I hope you continue to keep Ukraine on the brain. Ukraine on the brain. T-shirt idea. And supporting, even if it's just thoughts and prayers, man. That's the Ukrainians are doing something that's going to be studied in history books for decades. Right now, we're living it. So it's a very interesting time in our lives. And anyways, that's it. I'm fascinated by this stuff, and it's awful. It's awful and interesting all at the same time. I love you guys. We'll see you in the next video.